every news outlet around the world was, and every maritime pretty much was looking for me for 30 days.
Wow.
But then I capsized 7 days away from the French Marquises.
It's so nice that you're watching my video. And if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. It's free and it helps me. Thank you. This is the rowing dock. So I'm towing another dinghy, which I borrowed. And now I row to the rowing dock where this beautiful boat is of a beautiful man who is rowing around the world. Well, let's talk to him.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
finally.
so good to
Congratulations
see you.
on your journey.
You too. What an amazing journey.
Yeah.
So I'm so curious. I heard about you when I crossed the Indian Ocean, and I was like, wow, there's a guy rowing over the world. You know, when the guys were rowing, and ladies by the way, in the Atlantic, in the Whisker
Yes.
Challenge?
There's about 100 boats that race every year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that, and I was like amazed. And then I heard about you.
Yeah, just me, little old me.
So what was your calling? How did it start?
You know, I came off the longest journey in a canoe or kayak by Guinness Book of World Records in 2018. I didn't take the record or anything because I found that there were other people with modified things to their canoe with a sail sometimes or whatever. But I took an old town canoe from Montana to the entire Mississippi and then off the Missouri, and then went down to the Gulf and then took a left and went to the Atlantic Ocean. It was a trip for 232 days in a canoe.
Wow.
And over 5,200 nautical miles. And I decided that water was good for me and more importantly, unconventional travel.
Wow.
So then I was in between expeditions and the Vancouver Maritime Museum had this boat available and it was called an ocean rowboat. And I said, I could use a new boat. Yeah, that's great. And what the hell is an ocean rowboat?
Yeah.
And so I got it for 10 cents on the dollar. It was two perfect individuals coming together. It was a marriage made in heaven.
Wow.
Midlife. She's 2013, which is probably 10 years. So I'm 47. So it's like a midlife joining. We all had body issues. You know, she had a hole in her. So it was just, she was abandoned, and I'm not abandoned, but maybe by choice, but it's very difficult for a family to understand my journey. So
yes.
It just felt like, okay, here we go. Let's make this work, and we're going to go to as many countries as we can, and maybe it will be the first human-powered voyage around the world as well. Which, to my knowledge and the Ocean Rowing Society knowledge and Guinness, is that no one has human-powered around the world by the same form. So there's my personal challenge.
Yeah.
Not so much about the claim of record, but I believe maybe one before, in the early 1800s, there was a boat without a sail, possibly earlier, that someone took a look at and said, hey, we could put a sail on it. And so the question would be, did the person before the sailboat ever have some type of human-powered boat, and could they get around the world? And essentially for me, I've learned now that it's drifting really around the world. It's really what it's kind of like. You don't row so much, but here we are. We're 15 countries into it now.
Wow.
503 days of actual sea rowing and 5 years of living out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, we're at the steps of the Indian, which is the hardest crossing now.
Yeah.
But for the first time, I've been able to show people as a solo rower that I started in San Diego and rowed down to Panama Canal, which was how I learned to do the boat. It was normally a 3-month journey, but it took me 14, and it came with a lot of mishaps and trials and errors.
Wow.
But then I checked my circumnavigational point of what I believe a human-powered circumnavigation can be at, and went across, had some real issues, but then made it to the stretch that needed to connect the Pacific to the Indian, and it was either a decision of going up through Papua New Guinea above and down, or the Torres Strait.
Yeah.
I guess I took the hard way unknowingly through the Torres Strait in a human-powered rowboat with the tides and currents and wind against current.
I was there. Yeah, I know.
And there was a rescue involved, of course, but happy to report that everything was good. I shook hands with the people who helped me and was encouraged to continue on. And so you learn these lessons, and now we're here, and we made it from basically Thursday Island or Port Moresby, 1900 nautical miles the way I went to Lombok. And so now it's a matter of going.
I take my hat off.
Thank you. I take my hat off to you. I'm so fascinated. I think solo people have this really deep connection. I think I'm finding this because I wasn't a sailor before or a rower before. Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. So what does it bring you? What is the outcome of so far?
When I first started, it was a real spiritual quest, so I called it Sea Level, SCE. I was doing journalism and stories for the community along the way, but I row for humanity. So my main reason is to see God, but I started off with my personal challenge to myself. I like to challenge myself with expeditions, and then I like to figure out how does the expedition offer philanthropy forward. And I think for any adventurer who wants to go on their own thing, they don't have to row a boat, but row their boat in their own life. Let's talk more action steps. And I think human power is a great way to do that, whether you're hiking or whatever. So I had my personal challenge set. And then the next level was, how do we make a difference in the community? Not so much make the money would come at the end, but how do we show people from first worlds to third worlds and connect? And the rowboat, unconventional rowboat, is a common denominator amongst the fishermen that we come along. And so when you come up, you're not in a fancy yacht. They greet you, and they are fascinated by your oars and that you're hand lining fish, which is how I do a hand line. So I'm very old school. I don't have a autopilot. It's a foot rudder. And so that connection was my way of connecting first worlds with third worlds and bridging the failure to communicate, which I believe humanity needs. And so having people donate $100, we would show where that could go, and on camera we would say to a local, and hey, this is on behalf of people in America or whatever country. So that was offrowingmyboat.com, and then that grew into helping me continue on, which then helped me see God. And I was raised Catholic, but I'm spiritual. And I respect other people's religions because I know the history and I've seen it from sea level. And so I also had 33 days of silence, which really took a spiritual turn. In 2003, every news outlet around the world was, and every maritime pretty much was looking for me for 30 days. And I was just rowing along with no power and no internet because my solar panels died. And I didn't press the E-perp because I didn't know the world was looking for me. But then I capsized 7 days away from the French Marquises. So I had my 40-day journey that you read about, and that's when it really took this to the next level.
Do you have words for what the next level is?
The words I heard were brave, be brave by God. And the people who didn't know my story and rescued me were from the Philippines, and I only had shorts when I was rescued, and they gave me a shirt and shoes. And on the shirt they gave me, it read the word brave. So I was like, well played, God. It wasn't about me and you and our journey, it was about how we're all connected. So that would be one. But what I'm finding now, as someone who's been on the water so a long time, is I've got this anxiety. And I'm internalizing that mental game now. But it's my biggest challenge now, is when seas happen, I have this unknown traumatic reaction. And it can cause you to make irrational decisions. So I'm very aware of that. And what it really comes down to is making sure I have my parachute reserved, if you would, which means for me, my life raft. And making sure my water maker, because my boat is designed, it's only 6.9 meters, and she is self-righting if everything is proper. The first time it didn't because my hatch was open. And it was tethered to the outside and had only a second to brace for a rogue wave. And that's what took me. But I was later had a chance to see if Smiles would self-right when I was going through the Torres Strait. I was crossing from Port Moresby for 7 days, made it, and we were going to tie up to a service boat that was going to tow me through the reef. But unfortunately the Fly River, which is a very large river, infested with crocodiles, and and politically unrest village was coming out, and I had to stay overnight on parachute anchor. Well, I was only 10 miles offshore, was only in 40 feet of water, 10 miles offshore near there, and found myself in breakers. The 25 knot winds came and they were breaking surf waves. And so Smiles and I capsized and self-righted twice, but I lost everything, so I took out my ditch bag and plugged in my power station with my Mini and was able to at least communicate on Facebook and tell people I needed assistance, but I didn't press that e-book until later, until I knew they were coming, because I'm very mindful of tying up the resources of other taxpaying dollars. And even though that I know that is all, I'm a taxpayer and those things go certain places, I try not to risk the lives of other people, but this was an instance that I eventually did and was airlifted off. But she self-righted, so she redeemed, because I had to, when I was originally capsized coming across French Polynesia, I never saw Smiles again. 1 year exactly on the dot, she stayed floating upside down and made it to Fiji, the WOW group. And so I was in Zihuatanejo without my journey. My life was gone. I had everything in my boat, and I got the message, my purpose, and I read it, and it was from Mutuku Island, and my name was on the side, so they found me on Facebook and said, "Aaron, we have your boat."
Wow, hallelujah.
So I was delivering as crew sailboats for part-time work. I had about $5,000 or $4,000 left. Spent it all to go to Fiji. Made it to WOW group, which you can't get to unless you do all of it. But I took the passenger boat. Showed up with Kava and the tribe, and there was Smiles, and we negotiated we only had an hour or two to negotiate to get it to the tow boat that could get me to the mainland and Nandi. And we did. And I said, "What do you guys need?" And I think they kept everything already. I don't know what happened to the items. But I said, "What do you guys need?" And they said, "Aaron, the village needs a Starlink." And so in 2024, that was one of the first things I was able to offer a community that I was capable of, because with so many people, how do you give them money? But it gave the education for the village school. So it also gave them jobs so they can hand out tickets and let everyone use them. And a little form of income, because it was only so much, and they could charge a little bit more to the people to use it, and it worked out great. Elon Musk, if you're watching, send more dish.
Yes. Do that.
And you're happy to put my logo on my boat, Starlink. But anyway, fixed the boat, ran into a gentleman who was following my journey from McDonald's, and now work with the Ronald McDonald House, the hospital, which provides support for the kids when they don't have their parents there. And so, got it and wrote it and rebuilt it. I did all the fiberglass. And was unsure if I was adding too much weight to the top because they need to self-right. Refitted it thanks to the sponsor that I had. And off I went again with $10 left, and made it work. So and she self-righted, so that was her redeeming part. But little did I know that I was carrying so much weight, because when these things happen and you restart and you jump into a helicopter with only your phone and maybe a bank card if you're lucky in a Ziploc bag.
And your passport if you're lucky.
Which I didn't have originally in the first time. I knew this restart process. You're in survival mode, so you don't have a chance to really feel what you've been through, is the best way for me to describe it. Until what happened after I left Thursday Island and was coming here, and I saw what I'm normally okay in waves with, but all of it came back at sea. And you're by yourself.
And you know, when you start, you don't know what's hitting you, let's say. You don't know. But now you know that you capsized and then had to be rescued. So now you're super aware of the waves and the currents and everything that's happening, right?
It's almost like ignorance is bliss when you start going.
It is.
In order to get in a rowboat for the first time, you probably should know less. But there is a mandatory list, and that's really, most people don't get off the blocks. Or my boat was brand new at the time, and 3 girls had it, and they trained for a year, and after 3 days they decided it wasn't for them, which is respectable. But that's knowing that is the number one obstacle, and people say just go these days. What does that actually mean? It means get your mandatory list in place and forget about the rest of the things that you can't control. I believe it takes 1 second to make a decision, and if you spend a lot of time trying to make that decision, no matter which one you pick, you're still going to have to fix it as you go. So if you're in the right option with your 2 decisions, it'll work out.
Wow.
But the anxiety has snuck up on me. So to answer
Yeah.
that question, that was a really long answer.
No, but I get it, and
that's what I'm saying.
and I'm a therapist, you know.
Yeah.
So I totally get the anxiety part because it's real. You've been living it, and now it's similar to what you're going through. You're like, oh.
Yeah. And doing adventures, I knew fear was the obstacle, and so I pursue things that I fear because I find the beauty. That's what I'm addicted to. But unknowingly to hear anxiety and being a tough person, no PTSD for me. But, oh yeah? It's something that's a subconscious thing.
It's a life-death situation, and that's very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's powerful in the up way, like the connecting with God or spirit or spirituality or nature or whatever you call it, and it's down in the dark as well.
Yeah, and for some, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's the borderline personality disorder, maybe. Fear of flight. Fear of flight. In a rowboat, you can't fly.
No.
So you are literally forced with. And there are times when I say I only argue with myself. Otherwise I'm talking to God, but I only argue with myself when I have these issues. And I say, Aaron, don't do that again. Don't get in this boat until you have that one thing that you, like that seat bearing that you knew you should have fixed. You needed to do it. So now I'm sure as a sailor, maybe you think, oh, we'll be okay, and you're later resenting the fact that you didn't get it done.
No, I'm quite on top of things.
Okay.
And I try to fix it before it gets broken. So check everything. I'm like, ooh, this needs attention. So I fix it immediately. Or when it breaks, it's now and not tomorrow. You know, because it's dark and no. I sit on the deck with my little lamp on for 4 hours trying to get the baby stay on the right position to prevent my mast from falling off. And it's and my attitude is not like, oh, there we go again. It's like, all right, this needs to be fixed. Let's do it, you know. And it's difficult because again, I didn't get it, and I got back, and you know, it took me 4 hours in total.
And it's 2 a.m. and the seas are high.
It is. No, well, no, in this case, the seas were not high. That's why I was doing it in the middle of the night. But the next day, the seas would be high. The wind, so then it's like so difficult. So and then I get to places and get things repaired properly, but also like you know, my engine broke down, I lost my engine, I bought a new one, so that was like a big project. And I think it's not a question if something is gonna happen in the next leg, but what is gonna happen in the next leg and how are you gonna fix it? Because things break all the time, and it's always something new. Something is something the same for a couple of times, but most of the times it's, oh yeah, this didn't go wrong yet, so yeah, sure, we need to have attention to that. So, and for me, the waves, you know, I have a 1.70 m keel, which is quite deep for a 8.20 m boat.
So I'm doing the conversion as American. Okay.
So 27-foot boat.
It's fairly long.
Yeah, it's fairly long. And the 2/3 of the weight is in my keel. So I have a lot of waves breaking from
the actual keel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a lot of waves breaking from the side and from the back. So the boat gets pushed a lot, so it goes forward, and then the next wave breaks from the side. So you know.
And it comes back. You feel an actual.
Yeah. So it's moving a lot, but it's very stable. That makes me feel very secure.
Sure. As an ocean rower, we have knockdowns. And knockdown would for us be 180 and back, and then the full capsize. And I think there were maybe 12 to 18 knockdowns in the course of when I also capsized twice. And self-righted. But generally our boats are the same. We have an adjustable keel that comes down and the rudder. Different tricks that we try to use too. But yeah.
I would love to see your boat.
I would love to show it to you. Yes.
Yeah, lovely. Let's do it. So there we are. Wow.
Yeah, so welcome to Smiles.
Yes.
This is my baby.
Yeah.
We've got a really good relationship going. And she is powered all by solar power, so it's 200 watts is all I use. I also carry a solar power station.
Yeah.
She's 6.9 meters. She's got just the rudder that unfortunately it makes it tricky because it is fixed, but I can remove it if I need to.
Yeah.
And then she's got a dagger board, and it's all foot rudder, so you're welcome on board, by the way.
Yeah. I love to see a tour.
Let me just open. Yeah, you just. There you go.
Okay.
She's obviously pretty rocky.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
It's gonna be really hot in there, but
Yeah, I know how
on
that
that
is.
side you'll see all of the names of everyone.
Yeah, I saw that.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, hop in there. I will. It's definitely an encounter, so you're welcome to sit in there and get a feel for what it's like.
Yep. Start with a little video, so if you can hold
Yeah,
this
sure,
for me.
of course.
I'll try.
Have you been in one before?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh wow.
And the fan is the only thing we have,
Yes.
which is there. And that's my bed pretty much. There were a bunch of signatures in here when she was white, and then when I redid the paint color, because she survived upside down, so I had to clean her with all the barnacles and redo the fiberglass in the roof, so you can see a little imperfections on that side where we still got it, but she's been watertight and she works. And this is my new switch spindle that was made in Thursday Island. I didn't have as nice a one because it was all ripped out before, but
Beautiful, eh?
oh, it's so hot in there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
The water maker is down here, the automatic one on the other side of that board. But unfortunately it is leaking salt water, so it hasn't been working. And then there's the deck. And if you want to sit in a rowing seat, you are welcome to. Yeah. We should go for a row when you're ready. So the thing about rowing is you're facing where you've been, not where you're going. Yeah, that's the move. That's it.
I have my rowing dinghy, so I'm quite familiar with not knowing where I'm going. I'm like, like this,
true.
And then, oh yeah, we're good.
I was gonna say, you look like a natural there. Maybe on their next adventure.
Wow,
and
this is amazing.
Yeah, and those seat bearings are tricky. They are skateboard wheels. Yeah. And I carry an extra set of oars. They're carbon fiber, and there's this was a two-person position. They would sit here. Oh yeah. But I've converted into one. This is my water, and here are my 2 lithium batteries that I carry. And the design of Smiles is the one they use for racing. So the bad part is she's less forgiving than a typical rowboat. Okay. The good news is if you're going from country to country like I am, it's a little bit easier to get through the currents and tides. I say that, and with respect to the because she's a canoe body. So there's a lot of debate about it, and I can only tell my experience, but some of the other boats are a bit bigger and higher up on the water line, and until you get to know your boat, it's probably hard. But if I'm timing tides and currents, it's been pretty useful for me to have a canoe body. Plus all the time I spent in a canoe, I'm familiar with that. The other ones are a wood valley design, so there is no dagger board. It was just, that's kind of the dagger board throughout the whole. So different people have different takes, and I would feel more comfortable on a different boat, but I'm already 500 degrees.
Yes, into this one. Yeah.
It just means I'm probably going to self-right. And that the question when she does capsize is, do you want to be on the deck where you are? Yeah. Or do you want to be locked in the hatch? Yeah. And then in the event she gets stuck or sideways, you can crawl like a hamster to get it to pop back. Yeah. Whereas if she's stuck and you're on that side, then you're now working with your self-righting techniques of straps and standing up and waiting. Yeah. And hoping that works. Yeah. There's also other techniques, but wow. Yeah, there's no sail, no motor, and it's only, if you want to go, you just wake up and off you go. I use a Danforth anchor, and I have my parachute anchor, which I try not to use because if there's current going in generally the wrong direction, it doesn't help, or if it's going with the wind, it doesn't help. So. Yeah.
And just before the camera broke down because of overheating, I asked you the question like, how do you deal with the sun?
Yeah, I try to wear very thin clothes. A lot of times it's a sleeve and it's a buff, and that's it. But you're by yourself, so anytime you sweat, you have to clean that. And unfortunately, when your water is limited, you try not to have to use all your fresh water. Yeah, just the minimum. Definitely the minimum, and then lots of sunscreen if it's the one that's not supposed to cause cancer. So you think about all these things, and I would love to just cover up, and if I can, I do. Yeah. But I'm also not rowing in the middle of the heat if I don't have to. Yeah.
You're just going with the flow, literally.
Yeah, and going around the world in a rowboat, that's the thing for me. I'm not racing to get across.
Yeah.
So I'm not rowing 16 hours a day. Although I'm prepared to go up to 39 hours, and I have had to do that just because of the conditions. But generally I'll row through the night, and especially if there's a moon, that helps me see.
Yeah.
And just make sure that I'm pointed to the right direction with the waves.
Yeah.
But other than that, during the day, the foot rudder goes into a certain position.
Yeah.
I leave it like pinned there,
Okay, yeah.
and then we just drift. And generally, when I'm rowing, I'm getting 1.7 to 2 knots with no conditions.
Yeah.
So I usually always have a wind or a current. The wind being your number one dominator, unless it's under 10.
Yeah.
Generally, the current will then take the course. And try to time that with my weather maps, which I've been using Windy for as well as Predict Wind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're sleeping and you wake up here and you're going in the wrong direction, you're only going 2 knots, so it's okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
it's
I know
not
the
that far
feeling.
off the track.
Yeah, so you don't have an autopilot or whatever or something. Does it exist?
It does, yeah. I've just been making what I was able to afford work, and now it kind of goes in line with my traditional old school way. Like my fishing is all done with the hand line. I have the hand line, and I just, because there's no motor, the Dorado and the mahi coming across the Pacific, there's usually 24 of them swimming underneath me.
Wow.
The problem with that is rowboats are notorious for swordfish holes or sailfish holes.
Really?
So they'll come feeding, flying up, and if you're laying on the fiberglass, it's really not, but they have come through the bottom, and then I have my repair kit.
Wow.
It does become a problem if you have too many, and it's also a good way to know if you can clean the bottom of your boat, because if they're still there, there's no shark in the water.
Yeah.
But things can change quickly, as you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it got to the point where I would just toss it off and pick which fish I wanted to eat that morning, and I cook everything in a solar oven.
Yeah. Do you have a Go Soon solar oven? I have one.
I no, just a box that I made out of a pizza box. But I need to make the upgrade.
About investments, you say what I can afford.
Yeah.
So say you would have more sponsors who possibly watch this video or see you anywhere else.
Sure.
What would you do with the sponsor money? What would you need?
So on rowingmyboat.com, it pretty much breaks down campaigns that I've set up in every country. And there's a story about every country with someone I met there and where we can donate for that. There's also a separate section if someone wants to help Smiles, how to do that on adventureaaron.com. It's just a very basic, I like to divide it in between, and anyone who makes any contribution, I put their name on the side, just because every dollar counts, not just, I'm appreciative of anything. But yeah, there are some items across the Indian Ocean now that I need, and I can't continue on. But when you're so busy rowing, it's hard to send these sponsorships out, and it's also hard to people need to know you're serious. And you tell people you're about to go around the world.
They think you're crazy.
Just about, yeah, well that too. But I like to say crazy, just not stupid.
Yeah.
And when I say something, I guess the difference I found that's not always the case is I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so now, before it was, okay buddy, let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Now we're here 503 days later, and the interest in people start to at least know that I'm continuing on.
Yeah, because
so,
you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here longer. This is Smiles is now the only rowboat to 15 countries and do a couple worlds first. Getting from Panama to Panama Canal was a first.
Wow.
Solo across to where we are now, connecting the Indian and the Pacific was a first.
Yeah.
So she's achieved a lot, and that's all that means. It's not about the record. It's just that, hey, we're still going. We
You're
are
a
here.
team, right?
Yeah.
You're one, and
Yeah.
you're doing it together. You depend on each other.
But when we get back to the Panama Canal, which is the goal, Smiles will be the first official rowboat to go, a human power boat to get around the world.
Wow. So nice to hear your story. And I
Thank
was
you.
wondering if you would summarize it in 1 or maybe 2 words. What would it be for you?
Spiritual, and I like the word that you used, freedom. So pure is a good word, I think. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Together we came up with that one.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's the connection we have, going deeper and deeper. So thank you so much for showing me around and letting me into your world.
Oh my God, Jacqueline, thank you for letting me embrace with your community of people. And it's a tribe for me that I've never had a solo journey. So Sorry, it gets emotional, but happy tears, happy, yeah. Thank you for letting me be part of that and taking the time to meet smiles.
Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. It's free and it helps me. Thanks also to my patrons. If you want to become a patron, it's patreon.com/loveworkx, or for one-time or monthly donations to PayPal, it's paypal.me/loveworkx. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye!